Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. My name is Alex Dworkin, and I'm a managing partner at 40 Capital. We specialize in a very unique set of mathematical calculations that allow us to calculate the stock market and individual stocks in multidimensional space. And when we do, essentially perfect order emerges. On top of that, we've developed a number of very powerful timing indicators. And when we combine them together, we can very often predict with precision exactly what the overall stock market or individual stocks will do going forward. And we can typically do it on multiple time frames, whether it's long-term or short-term, it doesn't really matter. Now, I personally believe our work is nearly identical to what Jim Simmons was able to accomplish at Renaissance Technologies, if you're familiar with Jim. So our firm's objective is to essentially identify equities that will 2x, 5x, 10x going forward. Of course, who isn't looking for that? But we're essentially looking for the next NVIDIA, Apple, Bitcoin, Tesla, Microsoft, and so forth. And the way we do it is with the help of our very powerful software. So we built the software around our mathematical approach. And what we can do, we can essentially scan, for example, the entire S&P 500. We can calculate it in multidimensional space. And we can identify all stocks, all major stocks that are, for example, moving into a major bottom. And then from that bottom, we can calculate exactly how far the stock will go going forward in both price and time. And of course, we pick out only the best opportunities that will appreciate the most within the shortest period of time. And once again, it's an amazing software. We do have a webinar, I'll mention it at the end of this video, where we demonstrate it, and I highly encourage you to come and take a look. So today we're going to be looking at natural gas futures, I should say. We currently have a position in natural gas, and we took that position right here at the bottom. We picked it perfectly in both time and price. I believe we came in at about 150, and the actual bottom I think was 149, 148, something like that. So before I jumped into the forecast of natural gas and what it's going to do going forward, let me just very quickly explain, particularly for those who are new to our work, what the triangles are at the top and the bottom of the video or of your screen. So what you see is what we call cycle composites. And the bottom composites represent the bottoms, and top composites represent the tops in the market. Okay. So what you're seeing is a very simplistic two-dimensional visual representation of a very complex mathematical concept. So we have the ability to scan the market back in multidimensional space, identify cycles in multidimensional space, and then project them into the future. So what you see, that's that, okay? Typically, there are multiple composites running for any given stock or the overall stock market. So for example, 2 for the bottom and 2 for the top. I typically use it as an example in Dow Jones, but that's exactly what's going on. But if you know how to put them together, you can very closely replicate what you see on the two-dimensional time and price chart that you see in front of you, okay? They will get us into the neighborhood of a timing parameter. Let's say if it's a long-term cycle, it's typically, plus or minus 2 months. As is the case here, this particular cycle is very long, 7 to 9 years, I believe. But the lines you see on the chart in view is what we call cycle clusters. And cycle clusters give us the exact date of any particular bottom is going to take place. So we did have them here. This is the analysis going forward, but there was a major cycle cluster here, as well as the composite. And that's one of the ways we're able to calculate not only when it's going to happen, but the exact price of it occurring. Okay? So when you put it all together, you can essentially make very, very accurate forecasts going forward. So if you take a look at the chart for the natural gas, basically what it's saying is that we had a major bottom here in February of 2024, and ever since then the stock or the natural gas as futures have been increasing, and they're increasing in this particular top that is scheduled to arrive in February of 2027, possibly late December of 2026. There's going to be quite significant upside once this particular top is hit. It's going to decline into this bottom that is scheduled for late 2027. So this particular move, not only this move higher is of particular interest because it's expected to appreciate quite significantly, I'll show you in a second, but this particular move from this top to this bottom is what we call a fast moving equity. So we anticipate a significant run up and then significant collapse, probably something very similar to what we're seeing here within a relatively short period of time. So with that in mind, and then we'll continue to increase into this major cycle top. So let me just show you what prices we anticipate for the top formation, and then what's going to happen thereafter. So I know perhaps this doesn't make much of a sense to you, but it makes quite a bit of sense to us. This is once again our three-dimensional calculations that we calculate, and basically, the software has identified the bottom and it's making projections into the future. These mid-layer, I should say, green regions typically are taken out, and then the stock goes higher. So we anticipate natural gas to increase into at least this particular level, which is at approximately $13 at that time. So as you can imagine, from even today's prices, from $3 to $13 within a year and a half, that's quite an increase. Or from the bottom last year, from $1.50 to $13, that's nearly 10x increase, and that's exactly what I'm talking about when we talking about identifying very important bottoms. And then from those bottoms, because we can already project into this particular bottom as an example, and we already know before this particular bottom arrives that it's going to be a bottom, and we can already project from that bottom where the top is going to be in both time and price. And that's one of the reasons, or one of the ways we can identify only the equities that will increase, let's say, 5x, 10x going forward, and concentrate on only the best opportunities. Okay. And that's pretty much it. So we anticipate the top particular in this particular level, which as the prices are today indicates that we're going to have quite significant increase. And then from those levels, let me pull up the other chart again so you can see clearly once this particular top is achieved, then once again it's going to decline quite substantially into this particular bottom scheduled for late 2027, and that's going to be a fast move. So we're actually interested in both of these moves because it's going to run up quite substantially, probably in this very similar fashion to what we're seeing right here, and then it's going to collapse rather quickly into a very important bottom right here at the end of 2027. So that's the forecast for natural gas. We had the same forecast for over a year now, actually almost 2 years. Nothing has changed. It's doing exactly what it should be doing, so that's good. Now, so we have, if you want to see the actual prices for everything that I've discussed, if you want to see what the overall stock market's going to do, we have 52 mega cap stocks, we have fast movers, we have super equities, and we have a treasure trove of information available with our service. We have a 30-day free trial, no strings attached, no credit cards, none of that stuff. If you would be interested, the link is in the description of this video. Please send us a message and we'll set you up. We also have a webinar coming up this Friday, I believe 12 p.m. Eastern Time. During this webinar, we're going to be talking about the overall composition of the market, which typically shy away from because that's our bread and butter. But we'll essentially discuss what the overall stock market is doing now, where it's going next, all of that good stuff. We're also going to talk about our mathematical approach to the market, how we calculate the market, how you can do the same, and also we're going to showcase our software. So if you're interested in any of that, I do encourage you to sign up for the webinar this Friday. It's limited to 10 people, and I think you're going to enjoy it quite a bit. Let's see what else. That's pretty much it. We'll be back with another update tomorrow with one of our mega cap stocks. Let me see if I remember which one it is. MasterCard. So if you're interested in MasterCard, please check us out. Otherwise, just so don't forget to subscribe, and we'll be back with another update tomorrow. Bye-bye.